Hi, Samantha. It's so nice to meet you. I've just been looking over some things here, and I understand that you just got a divorce, and I'm so sorry that that happened to you. But it happens to the best of us. So I know that you have some questions about, you're feeling kind of overwhelmed about what to do to kind of get your finances back in order. Everything's just kind of a shambles. And um, as I understand, during the marriage, you really didn't take care of the financial end of things. He just kind of usually always, paid all the bills and all that. And so I know that you said here that you were fairly young when you got married. So I understand you probably just didn't have a lot of experience before you got married, taking care of all those types of things and kind of living independently. And so there'll be some exercises that we can do to help you to, set up a budget. And to be honest, you already kind of started to do that process to kind of pull those things together because I know during the divorce, obviously all the debts got divided um, and so you already, from all your paperwork for going through, all the divorce proceedings, you already kind of have a schedule or a list of all of your debts. 'Cause that's kind of the things they make you do anyway. So kind of look at it that way. Look at it as something that you've already started. You just didn't really usually look at it like that. So that's the good part, right? Because I always try to keep everything very positive. A lot of times, a lot of the things that we discuss, or most of the things that we discuss, is really heavy. You can feel weighted down and very burdened and kind of sad. So just always know I'm always going to try to, I'm always here to cheer you on. Okay, so Samantha, don't worry. I know things look like they're in 50 million pieces, but um, you'll be surprised how quickly you'll be able to set up. We're going to talk about setting up spending limits and controls on spending. You'd be shocked and surprised, when we kind of go through different things, and sometimes it's just talking about your weekly activities, and you'd be surprised at the different things, the little things that add up. I had a good friend of mine who loves to read, and, she would go into the, coffee shops slash bookstores and, before you know it, she's buying, a tall coffee and, a couple of books. And, if you, she took a look over, a period of a month, and she was shocked to find out when she added up all together that she was spending anywhere between like $700 and $1,000 a month just on books and coffee. So, we're going to look to see where we can definitely have some savings and cut back. I'm not saying, we can't have any fun, but we're going to look to see how we can trim some of the extras, even if it's just for a period of time, so we can, start to build and pay down the debt that got assigned to you in the divorce, and kind of pay down those things, and look to see, and plan out for when we're going to do the special things for ourselves. Okay. And you also kind of described you're coming out of a toxic relationship in your marriage, and meaning that he's kind of very controlling, and um, and as I understand it, he's in another relationship, and I believe that you said that he's engaged. And so, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed counselor. I'm just from my experience. I just want to share this with you. Usually, people who are coming out of toxic relationships, um, they, like you described, you're working on issues of self-esteem and self-image and all that, which is good, and we'll also talk about that. And you'll start to even feel better just naturally when you feel like, a lot of things that we're going to work on start to come together and gel together, like your finances, and you'll be able to kind of schedule and see things and plan for things, and that will give you a sense of empowerment and will help you with those areas. But it's it's been my experience when you're coming out of a toxic relationship. It's been my experience, not a therapist, but it's been my experience that what you can expect is a lot of times you can expect your ex to disregard or take lightly a lot of things that he may have been ordered to do in a divorce. So you usually, just keep a close eye and make sure that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, meaning paying off the debts that he's supposed to be paying off and all the other stuff that, whatever other things that he's required to do, that he does that. Because a lot of times people who are very controlling, they have issues with figures of authority and all that. And so, they'll say, oh, it's just a piece of paper, or, what's the judge going to do, whatever. So you just want to make sure that you're keeping a close eye on what's going on as best you can. Um, and sometimes too, and I know that you've had one or two run-ins with the fiance of your ex. Let me just tell you about what I call the cheerleader. And the cheerleader is usually someone who is very controlling gets, hooked up with. Um, and, she affirms and even encourages the bad behavior. It's just like, it's us against them. Sometimes they feel, the new girlfriend or the fiance, wife, whatever, they feel like it's a way for them to gel with your ex, or to solidify the relationship or grow closer together when they have something else to fight or someone else to fight against. And a lot of times it's you. So that would be another thing that I would, if I were in your situation, I would look out for. And a lot of times you have to show people, or um, you have to govern yourself in a way that shows other people how to treat you. And so you making sure that you're doing, everything that you can to fulfill all your obligations from the divorce, and, taking care of things on time, and really firmly, not necessarily kind of in a mean way, but kind of firmly saying that, you're not going to accept certain types of behavior and certain types of um, the way that people may have spoken to you in the past, that you're not going to tolerate that. And that's one of the ways you can kind of teach people how to treat you. And we can kind of talk more about that, but just know sometimes, she may be a wonderful woman. I don't know, and we'll learn more about that as we go on. But just know that she might be a cheerleader. So she might feel that's an easy way for her to grow closer to your ex, is to, to rally along with him and his bad behavior, because, that makes him feel, sometimes makes them feel better too, is to kind of lash out and act out and all that good stuff. And unfortunately, he's so used to, you being taking the brunt of that. We just need to let him know it's a new day. And, you know, old things have passed away, and that's just not acceptable anymore. So since, you have a little one that, you have to co-parent, you have to be in contact with them. You have to deal with them. So, um, those are the just a few things. As we go along, we'll talk about more. What to expect, because the first year is usually hard. It's really up and down and up and down. So just know that, and know that that's normal. Okay, don't be too hard on yourself. It's normal. You might be, have days, or weeks that you might be kind of sad. All of that is normal. Okay. So let's see what else.